You have questions? America's #1 business coach has answers. It's your Broda from Minnesota. Here's another edition of Ask Clay Anything on the Thrive Time Business Coach Radio Show.
Yes, and yes. Thrive Nation, welcome back to another exciting edition of the Thrive Time Show on your radio and podcast download. And on today's show, we are answering questions from a wonderful anonymous Thriver out there who is in the insurance business, Jason. And so they have written down, I believe, 10 questions. And we'll do it this way. You can ask me the questions, and I shall supply the answers. And then you can supply some editorial to maybe clarify what I mean.
All right.
Does that sound fair?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. What is question number 1?
Question number 1 is, what is the best way to get employees over the fear of asking for reviews or testimonials?
What?
What is the best way to get employees over that fear of asking for reviews or testimonials?
We go with a deep question. It's a spiritual question.
Question 1 coming in hot.
Okay. What we're going to do, and let's use elephant in the room as an example.
Yeah.
Our men's grooming lounge. Step 1, if you're taking notes, and I'd like for you to take notes, that way our listener has the notes here. 1 is you want to role play with the people. So step 1, role play with your people using scripts. So again, write a script and then role play with your people until they can't get it wrong. All right, so role play with your people until they can't get it wrong. So again, I'm assuming you have a script. If you don't have a script, then step 1 is write the script. So let's do this. Let's say step 1, write the script. Let's say step 1, write the script. And then step 2 is role play with your team until they can't get it wrong. Now, step 3, which will be tough, is you have to install a quota. You have to establish a quota. Because if you don't have a specific quota about how many calls your team needs to make, or how many reviews they have to get, or how many hours they have to work, or whatever expectations that you have, if you don't have a quota, then nothing's going to get done.
True.
Now, step 4, and I will type this, Jason. Step 4 here. Step 4. What you want to do is this is people don't like this. You got to install carrots and sticks. So let's break it down. The scripts. Jason, brag on a client that you're working with right now that gets reviews consistently from their real customers. Think of a client right now that really does do a good job of getting reviews from their customers.
Oh, man, there's so many. Say right now, one of the ones that's getting the most consistent would be Blake Johnson with Trusted Estate Planning Attorneys.
The attorney.
Mm-hmm.
And I bet you he has sort of a script he's come up with, or a system he has for this.
Yeah, he doesn't work on Fridays, so he goes into the office, and for like anywhere between 1 to 3 hours, he sits down, goes through his list of previous clients that he has not received a review from.
Yep.
He has a follow-up system as soon as he does like a new what do you call it, like a plan for people.
Yep.
And it sends him a reminder saying, hey, you met with Jason 3 weeks ago, and you have not responded to him yet. So he'd call, check in, email, and he just does follow-up every day or every week, same day, same time.
Another client that we get reviews for is Dr. Whitlock.
Yeah. He's
a cosmetic surgeon with well over a decade of experience, and he just didn't have very many Google reviews.
True.
And it's because he does cosmetic surgery.
Yeah.
So we have a member of our team, Angela, who calls his former patients and asks them to leave an objective review. But again, there's a script. You got to have the script. Step 2, you got to role play with your team using the script until they can't get it wrong. Jason, why do you have to role play with your team using scripts until they can't get it wrong?
Well, if you don't practice, you don't get better, and you don't get used to it. So I know, like, back when I first started working at Elephant,
Back in the day.
10 years ago, we role play the same thing every week. But the weeks that I didn't, I would see a massive fluctuation in my sales numbers.
Now, step 3, you got to establish a quota. Jason, why do we have to establish a quota? Why do you have to say this is the minimum standard that is acceptable here?
Well, people work better if they have tend to work better if they have a deadline or a goal.
Yep.
And so if you say, okay, get reviews, you have this ethereal idea of we're just going to get some. But if you tell the people this is how many minimum we have to get, then they have something that they have to work towards, and they know, hey, this is my target. I can't just say, I tried.
Right. Okay. So again, what you have to do, step 1, is you have to make sure that you have a script. Step 2, role play with your team using the script. Step 3, establish a quota. Now, step 4, you've got to install carrots and sticks. Carrots and sticks.
Yep.
And people don't like this part.
No.
But something bad has to happen if people don't get reviews.
That's true.
And something great has to happen if they get reviews.
Mm-hmm.
So I think of our companies, in particular, one business that I work with a lot, we have a thing where if for every review that you gain, that you obtain for Dr. Whitlock, we pay a $3 bonus.
Sweet.
Now, why would we pay a member of our team $3 for every objective review that they gather from a Dr. Whitlock patient?
It incentivizes them to do their job. They have more to gain from it.
Let's do a search right now. I'm going to do a Google search for Tulsa cosmetic surgery. And I want to ask you this question. Why do you think that Google puts the highest rated and most objectively reviewed cosmetic surgeon at the top of the search results? Like, why does Whitlock cosmetic surgery come up top in the search results?
Well, Google, being a service to people, it's answering questions. It wants to answer them correctly.
Yes.
And it's always looking for the best version of what you're looking for. So no matter what keyword it is, it's going to do a deep dive in, the crawling algorithm and say, hey, who has the most mentions of the specific word, and of those people, who are the people who seem the most credible?
Recently we've been tasked and asked to gather objective reviews for one of our current clients, Tulsa Fitness Systems. And if you Google search Tulsa Fitness Systems right now, we were able to gather, I think, in a total of 3 hours, 5 reviews. So if you Google search Tulsa Fitness Systems and you click the little blue number 159 reviews there, and you sort by newest, you can see how many we've gained within just, we gained 5 reviews in 3 hours. So hopefully that answers the question for the Thriver out there. We move on to the next question that Kim asks. Question number 2, Jason. What is question number 2?
Question number 2. Competition is always moving in next to us. What is the best way to crush competition? How can we stand out in a crowd?
Well, in the insurance industry, and I mean this in every industry, but the insurance industry specifically, because that's what we're talking about, you got to understand that most people suck at most things most of the time. So a lot of times they crush themselves. Mm-hmm. So in order to win, what you're going to do, and I'll type this out here, is you want to establish daily key performance indicators. Establish daily key performance indicators. So let's talk about this, Jason. With our coaching program, what time is our daily meeting?
It starts at 6 a.m. for the team meeting every day.
Why do we have that meeting?
Well, that's our point where we kind of sit back. We look at our key performance indicators. We look at all of the things that we would need to essentially assess before we start our day. So that's where us as coaches can ask you questions in areas where maybe we're uncertain. We can go over issues with any of like the client's personal websites, scripts. It just gives us kind of like that hour of power to get ready for the entire day.
Or like Tip Top Canine is a great brand we work with. Why do we look at the numbers every week? Why don't we just, look at it once a quarter or once every month? Why do we look at the numbers every week?
Well, because you have to know where you are every week. I mean, you have money coming in and money going out, and it's best to track that, real time as soon as possible.
So the question is, what is the best way to crush our competition? Well, one, establish key performance indicators for everything that you want to happen, for the action that you want to happen.
Right.
For the action that you want your team to take, you've got to establish key performance indicators. How many outbound calls do you demand per day? How many appointments are you trying to seek per day? You've got to establish key performance indicators for every number that matters.
Yes.
Now, step 2 is you must create a checklist for everything. You must create a checklist for everything. Jason, how would Elephant in the Room work without checklists?
I'm not entirely sure. Everything would be everywhere. You'd have
there's too much to remember.
Yeah, you'd have too many people trying to focus on the stuff up front, and then too many people trying to focus cutting hair, and then there's everything from the back door to the front door in between that's not going to get hit if you just focus on those 2 things.
And I'm telling you, we have stylists all the time that will tell me, Clay, I have worked at so many hair places in the past, some that have a really good brand per se, some that have a great website, some that are just unbelievable amounts of money are being thrown at the brand, at the marketing of the company.
Yeah,
but they don't have any checklists.
That's chaos. You get in there and you're cutting hair, and they're just like, Billy, answer the phone. And
right.
Billy's like, I don't want to answer the phone.
So Atul Gawande, he is a professor. There he is. I mean, let me just read you this guy's resume here for a second. Atul Gawande wrote a book called Checklist Manifesto, which is unbelievable. But let me just read you his bio here real quick. He's an American surgeon. He's a writer. He's a public health researcher. And this guy is a professor of the Department of Health Policy and Management at the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health. This just in. He's a Harvard professor. He's a surgeon. He knows his crap. He says the volume and complexity of what we know has exceeded our individual ability to deliver its benefits correctly, safely, or reliably. He says the volume and complexity of what we know has exceeded our individual ability to deliver its benefits correctly, safely, and reliably. So why does this matter? Well, it matters because if you don't have a checklist, everything's going to fall apart. But Jason, a lot of people don't want a checklist. So please explain for the listeners out there, what sort of pushback do you run into whenever you try to run out there and have your team use a checklist for the first time?
One of the very first things I experienced was somebody saying, well, I just feel like you're micromanaging me.
There it is.
Do you not trust me to do my job?
There it is. And the answer is no, I do not trust you or me or anybody to do their job without a checklist. So you have to use a checklist. If you don't use a checklist, it's not going to work. Now, another notable quotable is we don't like checklists. They can be painstaking. They're not much fun. But I don't see the issue here as mere laziness. There's something deeper, more visceral going on when people walk away not only from saving lives but from making money. It feels beneath us to use a checklist, an embarrassment. It runs counter to our deeply held beliefs about how the truly great among us, those we aspire to be, handle situations of high complexity. The truly great are daring. They improvise. They do not have protocols and checklists. Maybe our idea of heroism needs updating. Again, we've got to use those checklists. So again, you say, well, how do we differentiate ourselves from the competition? One, you establish daily key performance indicators that will allow you to outwork the competition. Two, create a checklist for everything. And three, you have to go through and knock out the following. You have to one-up your competition in the following ways. The sights in your office, the sounds, the sights, the sounds, the smells, the decor, everything about your brand must be better than your competition. Jason, why do you have to mystery shop your competition and then one-up them in every specific way?
Well, I mean, you can't be the best if you don't know what else is out there, especially if you exist in a realm where everybody is doing something similar to you. So, like for us, it would be in our best interest to see when we have, new barbershops or new grooming lounges come in, see what they're doing, and then offer it better because we want our people to stay because we're the best.
Now, question number 3 we have from our incredible listener is what, Jason?
Question number 3 is, how do you keep high energy amongst your staff?
Well, last night you and the coaches went out for a dinner. Mm-hmm. Where'd you guys go?
Russo's.
And was that a good time?
It was a good time.
Who all was with you?
Oh, man. So it was Ben and Amelia.
Got it.
Julia and her husband.
Yep.
Luke and his wife.
Yep.
And then the Bloomers, and then myself and my wife.
Okay. Now, you guys, all of you, let's all pick on you, Luke, Julia. We have never, you and me, we've never had a talk about, Jason, you got to bring energy today. Right? I mean,
thankfully, no.
And you've been here about 3 years. Mm-hmm. We've never had that conversation.
No.
I don't think we've ever had that conversation. Have we had that conversation?
I don't think so.
I know we have not ever had that conversation. And this just did. We've never had that conversation. No. Now, there are certain people who are not coaches who I have to have this conversation with as the Lord is my witness every week. Now, those people don't work here anymore.
Yeah.
The people that you have to have that conversation with every day, we just don't keep them around. And why? Why, Jason, do I not keep people on the team that I have to constantly motivate and have that pep talk about bringing good energy? Why do I not keep them around?
Well, it's counter to the overall atmosphere and just culture that you are trying to develop for your business. Your business runs off high energy. You yourself are a high energy person, and you have so many things you can do a day, and you should not be scheduling into every individual opening in your day a pep talk for somebody who just can't find that energy.
So now the specific things I do to create an upbeat environment are, one, I create a playlist for the office, which everybody can go to eitrlounge.com, eitrlounge.com. And when you go there, you can click on the Clay Clark Radio Listen Now button to hear the playlist. You can do that. And Jason, why do I choose every song that's on the playlist?
Well, because one, you used to be a DJ, so you understand music that motivates people.
Yes.
You understand there has to be like a certain BPM. So if this is playing at Elephant or if this is playing at Thrive, you want to have music that is going to continue that idea of high energy. Now, if you had like Gregorian monk chants going on, that might be serene, but that's not what you want when you're trying to motivate like a sales staff.
There it is. So again, we got to create a specific playlist for your office, create a music playlist for your office. 2, create decor that inspires. Jason, why are those motivational phrases everywhere with those notable quotables? Why do we put client wins on the wall? Why?
Well, again, it's continuing the hype train. It's nice if I ever come in, if I'm having a bad day, typically, I'll check it at the door. I don't bring it into Thrive with me. But if something else is just beating me up, it's nice to look around and just say, oh, okay, here's a quote from Jack Welch saying, stop worrying about that and focus on something else. Or here's a great quote from UNZ, or here's another one of my awesome client wins to help motivate me.
Okay, so let's talk about it. So the third move we do is we create a reward system, ringing the gong or ringing the bell. Why do we allow people to hit the gong whenever they book a ticket to a conference?
It gives them that little, like, I'm the man feeling. I can't tell you how many jobs I've been in where I, like, figure out something dire, and it's, like, taking all my brain power and will, and I figure it out. I'm like, oh, that's great. And then it's crickets. I'm like,
right.
Oh, okay, well, maybe that didn't mean anything at all.
So we have to create a music playlist for our office. We have to create decor that inspires. We have to create a reward system. Then we have daily huddles. Every day we have huddles at 7 a.m. Why does John do a huddle every single day with all of the members of the team?
Well, it's like a quick reset. And so if he has, all 40 of the Thrive employees surrounding him, he can give each and every one of them that pep talk that most of them are going to need before the day starts. That way he's not having to do it later.
And then every week we have a weekly sales meeting, weekly sales meeting at the same time every week. Jason, why is it at the same time every week?
So we don't drift.
Okay. And in that meeting, why do we actually listen to the recorded calls?
Well, we have to know how we're doing. So you listen. You could say, okay, well, I'm going to record the calls for quality assurance, and then not, and then you can't hear the faults in people's performance, and then you can't make them better.
So we have a young lady on the team, and again, I don't know when this show will come out, but we have a young lady on the team who I recently asked to get off the team this week, and I'll tell you why. She's bringing the mopes. Now, we have a weekly sales meeting, and she was bringing the mopes. She was looking low energy, kind of yawning a lot, not taking notes. So why do we have to move a person like that off the island, off the team? Walk the plank, buddy. Why?
Well, because they are not the high-energy person that you need on your team. It's bad for business.
Yep. And the next move we do is we have a weekly all-staff team training. Why every week do I teach things like how to use a to-do list, how to use a calendar, your network is your net worth, surrounding yourself with positive people? Why would I teach time management, life management? Why do I teach these life skills about automating your savings, how to buy real estate? Why do I teach that stuff to our staff every single Monday?
Well, you're providing them with ongoing education and mentorship, so it's nice to see somebody who cares. And I would venture to say, of everybody at that meeting, I can't think of anybody who would have anybody in their lives outside of that meeting that are telling them these things.
Yes, there it is. So you say, what? How do you keep high energy among your staff? 1, create a musical playlist for your office that's intentional. 2, create decor that inspires. 3, create a reward system like ringing the gong or ringing the bell when you close a deal. 4, install daily huddles with your team. Every single morning, have a little standing huddle, 10 minutes. Just connect, pump everybody up, go over at the huddle, talk about what went well yesterday, what didn't go well yesterday. Weekly sales meetings at the same time every week. And 6, weekly all-staff training. That's what you do. Now, point number 4. We are implementing systems into a business that has can you read the question from question number 4 here?
So I said, we are implementing systems into a business that had very little systems. So I'm assuming to start out with. How do you get old employees to get on a new page without negative feedback or firing them?
Well, we got to go back up here to our, up to our steps from our first question, and I'll just kind of copy and paste these down here, and then I'll break them down here for you.
Yep.
1, you want to role play with your team until they can't get it wrong. You role play. 2, you establish a quota. And 3, you install carrots and sticks. That's what happens. But if you do not have carrots and sticks in place, what's going to happen, Jason, if there is no penalty for not doing your job properly?
It's like in school, when somebody's like, hey, if you don't stop that, you're going to have to go to the principal's office. And you have that teacher who will always play that game like, oh, Billy, if you don't stop disrupting, you're going to go see the counselor. But then they never do it. So then Billy decides, oh, I'm the man. I'm invincible. I don't have to do what they're telling me to do because nobody's holding me accountable. It's not even that. It's nobody is coming for me if I decide not to do it.
There it is. You just absolutely have to have carrots and sticks. All right, Jason, what's question number 5 from our Thriver?
Question 5 is, what is the best way to create a memorable marketing campaign? What are your top 3 favorite ways to reach customers?
That would be one that I cannot answer because every industry is different.
Yeah.
And everyone's budget's different. So I can speak about it in general terms. I can say I have worked with insurance companies in the past. You know, there's big companies like State Farm, Farmers, Allstate, and they run commercials all the time.
True.
So those agents have leads that come in from corporate all day, every day.
Yeah.
And so for those people, I like big advertisements that work.
Oh, yeah.
Because the agents don't have to shoot their own commercials.
True. There was, have you met Tyler, the State Farm agent who's right next to the South Elephant in the Room?
No.
Oh, so he comes in every month. He loves you and Elephant and everybody there. But that guy's a grinder. He kicks butt, and he happened to get like the biggest sales in his region or whatever. Yeah. And so to reward him, they flew Dr. Ken Jeong, the comedian, TV personality. He's in like The Hangover and all this stuff. They flew him out and shot a commercial with him. And now there's like an 8-foot cutout of the two of them in front of the window.
Really?
So he's got the celebrity, and now he has like a national campaign just for working hard. And that's gotten him tons of deals.
So, again, I mean, if you could have a big national campaign, that would be great.
Yeah.
But for the local guy, I'm assuming you don't have that kind of a budget.
Yep.
So I would create a very aggressive no-brainer.
Oh, yeah.
I would then aggressively gather the most objective reviews. All right? And then 3, I would call everybody to compare rates. Everybody. I mean, relentlessly, I would call everybody. So let me give you Jason, can we role play the script?
Let's do it.
Let's pretend that you really are you and that I am an insurance guy. Ready?
All right.
Boop, 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 boop. Hey, is this Jason?
It is. Who's calling?
Jason, hey, man, this is Clay. That I met you at Elephant in the Room about a year ago. How are you, man?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am doing great. And I am actually now an insurance guy.
Oh.
And I believe if I meet you for 15 minutes, I can probably save you about $500 a year on your auto insurance. And so I'd like to see if I could meet you for 15 minutes, and I will actually pay you $25 just to compare rates, and I promise it will not take more than 15 minutes.
Wow. 15.
Would you be down to meet for 15? It might even take 10 minutes.
Yeah, sign me up.
I'll come to you. That's how I would do it.
Yeah.
Because nobody wants to compare rates.
No.
Why?
Well, as a consumer, they don't understand it, but they always feel like they're going to get nickel and dimed. Like somebody will approach, because I've had this happen with me before. I've been very skeptical. Like, oh, hey, you have this health insurance plan, but I guarantee you I can get your premiums down, and then I end up having like a higher monthly payment. I'm like, what the crap?
What the crap? So, again, that's the move, though. Create an aggressive no-brainer, aggressively gather the most objective reviews, and then call everybody to compare rates. And I would incentivize the meeting. And there are rules with insurance where you can't give somebody more than like $25 or $50 to incentivize them to meet. But people have to be given they have to be given something.
Right.
Otherwise, they're not going to want to meet. And again, Jason, how much money would you have to get? I mean, honestly, to meet?
I mean, if you want to give me $25 for 15 minutes, I mean, that's more than the common man makes in an hour of their workday. So I'll take it.
Okay, you'll take it. All right. So now here we go. So when we mystery shop ourselves and competitors, what should we be looking for? The question is, again, Jason, read question number 6.
So question 6 is, when we mystery shop ourselves and competitors, what should we be looking for?
All right. Well, the first thing is you want to look for their call script. All right. We want to listen to their call script. Or lack thereof, because they might not have a call script.
Yeah.
You also want to be looking for, do they answer the phone? How many businesses have we dealt with where they don't answer their own phone, Jason?
So many.
It's bad.
It's one of those things. If you just did that, that's like worth the secret shopping. We did it. We're getting leads.
Because the average person does not leave a voicemail.
Nope.
Anymore.
No, not at all.
When you're calling a business, most people do not leave voicemails for businesses. So if you just answer your phone on the first ring or two, you're going to get more business.
Absolutely.
So again, you're going to call your competition and see if they use a call script. If they do, what is their script, and make sure you make your script better than theirs. 2, do they answer their phone? All right. 3, their office decor. Is their office compelling? Does it say you can trust us?
Right.
Buy from us. Or does it say, uh-oh? And I'm just being serious, though.
No, for sure.
Think about a place that you've gone to. Jason, have you ever gone to a Shell gas station?
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever thought to yourself, what the Shell? When you
Oh,
go in that bathroom?
So I avoid the bathroom.
Yep.
I learned my lesson there. But what's the place with the green dinosaur?
Sinclair.
Yeah, so on my way up to Colorado.
This is a
couple
new
years
kind
ago.
of danger.
Yeah, I
Yes.
stopped at some Sinclair. It was just like the halfway point. Really
Uh-oh.
needed gas. Really needed to pee.
Oh,
I
no.
knew better, but I ran to that bathroom. I thought, dear God.
You went in there, and how was it? Describe it.
It
man.
was not Quick Trip. It was dark. It had one light that would like flicker. The
Oh, no.
smell was terrible. And on top of that, the floor was wet, but they had all of their paper towels and toilet paper in the wet spot. So I'm like,
Uh-oh.
well, now if I go to wash my hands, I'm not touching that sink because I could get Ebola from that. But then I can't dry my hands
Ebola.
off because there's urine all over everything. It was a nightmare.
I've got audio of you going into the bathroom. Let me cue it up. I'm going to play it for you. This is audio of Jason Beasley walking into the restroom of a Sinclair gas station.
Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit sniffing glue. Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit smoking. Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit drinking. Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit amphetamines.
There it is.
Yeah, I felt all of that
It
making
says-
that life decision.
Oh, my gosh. Why would you do that to yourself?
But I mean, it's true though.
Do you have
like,
a form of self-hatred?
that day I did.
Okay. All right. So now we move on to question number 7. What is question number 7?
Ooh, so this one we're getting back into carrots and sticks. They say, carrots and sticks. What is your favorite carrot? What is the best stick?
In the context of insurance, I think cash is the best carrot. I think cash is king. Cash is king for carrots. Jason, you're in a system, a meritocracy, where you get paid more the more value you add for clients and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Why is cash a good thing?
Well, it's a motivator for me because that means I have additional money to put into my savings. I have additional money to put towards projects I want, for my future, more that I could provide for my family.
Last night's dinner, am I paying for that dinner? Did I pay for that dinner?
No.
You paid for your own dinner last night?
I tried to get them to put the entire bill on Steve's table, but the lady said she wouldn't do it.
Okay. But I mean, last night you guys went out to dinner, and it cost money.
Yeah.
So
I guess technically in a way you are.
I am paying for it?
Yeah.
How so?
Well, I work for you, and you provide my paycheck.
Oh, okay. I'm just saying, I mean, you took your wife out for breakfast yesterday. Maybe that's a better example.
Yeah.
You went out for a non-work-related breakfast yesterday?
Yep.
Where'd you guys go?
I got Hugo's.
And does Hugo's cost money?
It does.
What did you guys eat for breakfast?
Bacon and eggs.
So how much was it for breakfast, do you think?
$15
for both of you, 20?
I ordered more bacon than I should have, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
think the bacon ended up coming out to like 14.
Oh.
They're proud of it. They give you a lot though, so it was like when we went to Brahms and we ordered too many eggs. It was like
Oh,
that
yeah.
situation.
Yeah, I ordered
But-
20 eggs at brunch.
Like all in all, it was around $22 for the both of us.
But it costs money.
Yeah.
So what we've got to do is we've got to establish a carrot that is cash. Carrots, the best cash, or the best carrots are cash. Cash
True.
is king for carrots. Okay. Now the best stick. Oh, yeah. The best sticks are also cash.
That's true.
I'm
Or lack thereof.
serious. When you have a stick that says, "Hey, if you don't follow this system, you're going to make minimum wage this week,"
Yeah.
it's awesome.
Gets them motivated real quick.
Let's talk about on the search engine team for a second.
Mhm.
On the search engine team, you could make minimum wage or up to 20 some odd bucks an hour.
Yep.
Why is that a powerful motivator?
Well, then it's just, okay, so like most people always want to say, I want a promotion or I want a raise just because I want to make more money. You literally have that power when you're sitting in that seat.
So the best sticks involve cash and the best carrots involve cash. That's the deal.
Mhm.
I don't like to do stuff where it's like, if you don't do this, you lose 1 point.
Yeah. Or we're going to dock your pay because that pleases the people.
I'm just telling you, I don't like to do stuff where it's like the penalty is hollow. I like to do stuff where the penalty is not good for you financially and the reward is great for you financially. And that's how it should be. I mean,
Yeah.
if I was a running back in the NFL and I consistently fumble the ball, I consistently do not get yards after contact. I consistently do not score touchdowns. I consistently don't make blocks. I consistently show up late for practices. What's going to happen?
You're going to get cut.
Oh, and that would hurt me financially.
True.
And if I do a great job, I set blocks, I show up on time or early, I score touchdowns, I catch passes, I probably will have what happen with my contract?
You will either get a more generous offer from a team that wants to pay more for your performance.
There it is.
Or get some endorsements because you're making waves.
Yes, and that is how it happens. Now, Jason, what is the next question from our incredible listener out there?
The next question is, what is your favorite time, or what are your favorite time management tips?
Okay. Every day have meta time. Jason, why do you have to have meta time every single day? Why do you need to schedule that quiet time, that meta time, that from the Greek word meaning above? Why do you have to schedule at least a half hour every day to plan your day?
Well, because if you don't plan your day will immediately steamroll you. So it's nice to be able to put everything in order and saying, hey, I'm hitting all of these things first, and then these are the, I guess, to-do items that we're going to knock out in between. But it's just nice to have a path.
Okay. So, and then step number 2, carry one to-do list. Why do I carry one to-do list at all times?
Because it keeps everything that you need to have top of mind, every mission item in front of you. So then that way, because there have been plenty of times I've asked you, I've asked Andrew, sometimes I'll even ask like Devin. I'm like, hey, what are you doing at 11? I have a question. And they'll look at their to-do list and say, oh, I'm doing this at 11. But if they're not looking at it, you and Andrew go, oh, I have no idea.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And I just want to make sure we're getting this because the question is, what are my favorite time management tips? These are not my favorite. This is just what works.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, I've got a chance to shadow with huge CEOs of big companies. I've met founders of billion-dollar companies.
Right.
And they all carry a clipboard,
True,
a calendar, and a to-do list.
Yep.
Why?
It's what makes them successful.
That's what works.
Yeah.
Question number 9 is what, Jason?
Question number 9 is, what happens if you drink 2 scoops of Dragon Energy?
Don't do that.
Yeah, I tried. It's
don't
it's
do
a trip.
that. Don't do it. Dragon Energy is an energy drink that we've created in the office, but I would encourage everybody out there, don't have 2 scoops of that. Just have like a half a scoop, a third of a scoop, and then just sip on it throughout the day. Don't. I mean, that question is like, what happens if you have 8 cups of coffee? I mean, just don't do it. I mean, if you do it, you're going to start to have hostile feelings towards everything. You're going to be like frustrated with yourself. Yeah. You're going to get in your car like, why am I going so slow?
You get extremely warm. I will say that.
Yeah, don't do that. And then the final question was what?
The final question number 10 is, what is it like to be Clay Clark?
Let's go with yesterday. Let's do that one. Let's do yesterday. So yesterday, Jason, I have in my hands, what do I have in my hands right here?
That is the book Triggered by Donald Trump Jr.
Yes. So my life is like this. Donald Trump Jr. apparently is going to be on our show here soon. And so in order to get ready, I have to read his book, and I have to read the book, the whole book, and nothing but the book. So book me, Don. That's my phrase. I've been telling my wife that. So I had to read the whole book yesterday. That's what it's like being me. I don't know if you want that life. I like it, but some people don't. I mean, I don't know a lot of people that on their, Saturday say, family, kids, between the hours of 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. I shall be downstairs. I was in the hot tub a lot too, but I'm just reading this book, and it's just what it is. I'm very rigorous about my schedule, and I block stuff out. And I don't know what other people do on their Saturdays, but for me, I like to read books.
Yeah,
and so that's what I do. I don't know if is that helpful.
It was helpful.
Okay. So if you're out there today and you feel stuck in a rut and you need some answers to your business questions, please feel free to email us to info@thrivetimeshow.com. That's info@thrivetimeshow.com. Don't ask me questions about religion. Don't ask me questions about politics. Don't ask me questions about feelings. Do ask me literal things. Ask me step 1, step 2. We can do that for you. And we like to end each and every show with a boom. Are you psychologically prepared to end with a boom?
Oh, yeah. Let's do it.
Here we go. And by the way, Kim, these are great questions. We greatly appreciate you. And now without any further ado, 3, 2, 1, boom.